What up fam, eFresh here and I'm back with an all new video. Today we are back in the world of Destiny 2. I know, inconsistent me. My bad I haven't uploaded a video in a few weeks. I do apologize. I have been uploading videos on my second channel though, which I think you should go check out. It's my channel where I play a bunch of different things and that's not Destiny related. And this has been a horror month, so I've been playing a lot of Lethal Company, and that's where a lot of my videos have been going to, is my second channel. So you should definitely go check out that channel and subscribe to it. I appreciate it and love every single one of you. But enough about all that. We're here for the builds, and the build I'm going to be showing you today is none other than Stasis, because right now Stasis is king shit and it's extremely fun to play. So I'm going to nickname this build Gandalf the Great. And the reason I name it that is because we're going to be pulling out a weapon that has kind of just been forgotten about, and I needed to remind myself that this can actually be a good weapon to use. What that weapon's going to be is none other than Winterbite, the exotic heavy glaive. I know, call me crazy, but as soon as I saw the Stasis changes and I saw the artifact mods, I thought it's time to bring Winterbite back out and give it its just due. So what Winterbite does is it fires a large ball of energy that locks on to nearby targets and it freezes them. So the way this works is you're going to shoot your ball in the air. As it's gliding, it's sending out the stasis lasers to enemies and it freezes them. It's really good for crowd control and very underrated. I want to preface this by saying, do not think this is going to be some 13 million DPS build. It's not. This is for support. Bungie lately has been leaning more and more into support roles, and I honestly think Winterbite's perfect for it. In Onslaught, using this, you can control so many ads with this exotic, and I think it's criminally underrated. I want to say again in the comment section, listen to me. This is not, I'm not saying this is some high DPS build. Every build doesn't have to be that, all right? Sometimes you want a player who's really good at support, and they can control ads and it can help and just make life easier. Everything doesn't have to be DPS, guys, okay? Is DPS a big fundamental part of this? Of course, I'm not saying it's not. But that's why we have supers. We have other things as well. It doesn't have to be every heavy for DPS. For ad control, I'm telling you guys, it's perfect. Not only is it good for ad control, it's also great for champions. You can stun champions with this really easy. And the direct impact with this Winterbite, it's not bad damage wise either. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's really not. It's not as bad as you may think. But the cool part about it is, if you run out of ammo, it's still a glaive. I can still use it and I can still hit things with it. If you have ammo in your slot still, you can hit with that, and with a couple of hits, you can actually freeze the enemy by just hitting it a couple of times. And that's the same for champions. So Winterbite, honestly, it's kind of slept on, and it's not as bad as people may think it is, especially right now. So I highly recommend you give Winterbite a try. As for the rest of the build, the main exotic choice that we're going to be using is going to be Icefall Mantal. It completely got reworked from what it used to be, because before it was absolute trash. The OG version of this, basically, you ran, and as you, instead of using your barricade, you did the Henry Cavill fist move, and then all of a sudden you get an overshield. And the thing of it was, you basically become a walking brick of ice. You can't run, you can't jump. It literally just made life so much harder using it than it helped. I don't know how many times I tried platforming over some shit and I couldn't jump because A, I couldn't run, and B, I had no jump. So it was just a terrible exotic to use. But now they've completely reworked it. Now it's A tier, at least in my opinion it is. So as we look at the armor perk, it states, while you have a Stasis super equipped, rapid Stasis final blows grant frost armor. First off, that's why I'm using Lost Signal. You can get a lot of kills with this weapon. So as it goes here with the perk, a lot of kills means I'm going to be getting frost armor. Frost armor means damage reduction. You also heal a small amount whenever you gain frost armor. So as long as I keep acquiring frost armor, it actually heals me. That's another plus. Also, it replaces your class ability with a burst of stasis energy that freezes nearby combatants, slows nearby targets, and it grants increased frost armor. Let me tell you, I've been waiting for Titan to have something like this. Hunters had the dodge to where they can freeze enemies that surround them. Warlocks had the rift to where they can freeze enemies around them. Titans didn't have shit. But with this exotic now, again, I pop my Henry Cavill move and any enemy around me gets frozen or gets slowed, and let me tell you, it's incredible. And it's not even done. When I go along with your artifact perks as well, when you activate Icefall Mantal, you can get a maximum of ×8 frost armor, which is a humongous damage reduction, and you can't go wrong with that. So you get to freeze enemies around you, and you get ×8 on your frost armor. It is just, this rework is incredible. As for the rest of the build, you can pretty much do whatever you want depending on whatever activity you're doing. Of course, I'm going to be using Stasis Siphon because I'm going to be dropping a lot of ores for my teammates. Ashes to assets, I will be using Glacial Grenade, and as long as I'm breaking those, I'm getting super energy back, and I'm getting kills with them. And on top of that, we're going to be using Heavy Ammo Finder because Heavy Ammo Finder. For my gauntlets, I will be using Firepower, and I will be using Grenade Kickstart because we want to keep getting our grenade back as much as possible. I will be using Stasis Reserves for my chest piece, and Art Damage Resistance. Again, that's going to change depending on your activity or however you want to do that. As for my boots, I will be using Recuperation, so anytime I pick up an orb, I get health. Innervation, when I pick up an orb, I get grenade energy, and then Stasis Weapon Surge because I am using Winterbite and I am using Lost Signal. And as far as the Titan Mark, I will be using Time Dilation to extend my armor charge and Special Finisher, so anytime I use a finish and I have an armor charge, I get a brick for my special back, so all good. As for the subclass itself, yep, we're bringing good old Behemoth back, which Glacial Quake is insane right now. So while you're looking at me, maybe judging me thinking, why is he using Winterbite as his exotic for a heavy, but where's the DPS coming from? That's where Glacial Quake comes into play, because this is one of the highest DPS supers in the game right now. It's incredible, so highly recommended. As far as the aspect goes, I will be using Diamond Lance because anytime I get a kill with Stasis, it drops a Diamond Lance, which means I can pick it up. I can do ad control with that as well, so it's also a plus. And it's 3 slots for my fragments. That's another reason why I chose it. And we'll be using Tectonic Harvest. Shattering a Stasis Crystal or frozen target creates a Stasis Shard. This shard grants melee energy when picked up by you or your allies. Also, while Tectonic Harvest is equipped, picking up Stasis Shards grants stacks of Frost Armor. Remember what I said earlier, this build is all about Frost Armor, which is damage reduction, and that's what we want. We pretty much have it at all times, so it's a definite recommendation and a plus to use this. I will be using glacial grenades because I throw them on the ground. You can free shit with it. The amount of explosions you can do with this is incredible. And let me just tell y'all, it does a lot of damage. And I get it back over and over, which gives me super energy because I'm using ashes to assets. Hope I said that right. So, glacial grenade, highly recommended. As for my fragments, I will be using Whisper of Rending. Primary ammo weapons do increased damage to Stasis Crystals and frozen targets. I will be using Whisper of Fissures. It increases the damage and size of the burst of stasis when you destroy a Stasis Crystal or defeat a frozen target. This is important with this as well because when I'm killing enemies with my Glacial Grenade and I'm shooting it, which I'm going to be doing more damage to, it makes it blow up easier. And with this, it makes the explosion even bigger. So it goes hand in hand. The next I will be using Whisper of Rime. Your Frost Armor has increased duration and maximum stack count. Basically, before, this got a rework as well. It used to just give you an overshield. At one point in time, it was extremely overpowered. Towards the end, it got kind of whack, but it wasn't too terrible. But they reworked it now, so now it basically gives you increased duration of Frost Armor, and it increases the maximum amount of stacks you can have for your Frost Armor. That's, again, constant damage reduction that goes hand in hand. Whisper of Rime is a definite. Next up, we have Whisper of Conduction. Nearby Stasis Shards track to your position. Again, Stasis Shards that fly towards me when they're kind of far away, that can provide Frost Armor for me as well. But I really use this as well for the plus 10 resilience and plus 10 intellect because OCD. And lastly, Whisper of Chains. Defeating targets while you have frost armor has a chance to create a stasis shard. And why do we want stasis shards? More frost armor. And the +10 recovery is good too. So yeah, man, those are the fragments I chose. And let me just tell y'all, this build is super fun. I'm glad Stasis is back. It deserved it, man. For a while in the beginning, Stasis was fun, and then it just got hit so hard and just like no one cared about Behemoth Titans. And now Behemoth Titans are back, man, and they're the shit. And just to go back to end this, go back and give Winterbite a try. I'm not telling you that it's the greatest thing ever, but it's fun to use, man. And we forget sometimes it's okay to just have fun in Destiny. Everything doesn't have to be so serious. We don't all have to try to do these minimal 10-second runs of everything because we're trying to use the highest DPS build ever. And I love doing that too. Do not get me wrong. But sometimes it's okay to just play with some different shit and just have some fun, man. Don't take this game so seriously to where you forget that having fun is a thing. And I'm not saying you can't have fun with DPS builds, but I'm just saying it's not the end all be all. So just give Winterbite a try. I think you may be pleasantly surprised. I use it in Expert Onslaught, so that's another thing where people probably would be just like, well, how do you use it there? Works just fine. Works just fine. And this was a random team that I picked. We had no comms, and it worked just fine. So highly recommend Winterbite. Just give it a try. Have some fun. And yeah, you might like it. So yeah, guys, that's the build, man, and that's the weapon of choice that I want you to try out. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you can, for me, please hit that comment section down below and let me know how you feel about everything that's going on in Destiny right now. I know a lot's happening. We just to quickly go over, we have the whole what is it called, the weight gate, where they're over here weight gating perks in certain weapons now, which is crazy, and Bungie confirmed it. That's wild, but it's whatever, man. I don't really care. So yeah, man, I've been having okay fun time this season. Again, if you can, support your boy and go to my other channel and like and subscribe to that channel as well for more games. And I appreciate every single one of y'all for just being around, man. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. I love every single one of y'all. Ladies, I really love y'all more. And yeah, I'm out.